Hi, welcome to Hudson's farm. I'll try and do a full video of the whole pool, every peg. This is the car park where you park your car and then you walk up here. Coming up onto the specimen pool. You can go two ways. If you go round to the left, that starts from peg 9, but we're going to go from peg 1. This is peg 1. Bark chippings, so it's bippy friendly. As you can see, you got overhanging trees to your left, lily pads coming all the way over. I do believe that was a carp. And it was right in the margins, scrubbing on the reeds. Shame I couldn't get it on video. This bottom end's about 4 to 5 foot deep with overhanging trees on your left and your right. Then we go on to peg 2, which I think is quite close, but separating, obviously bark chippings. Separating peg 1 and peg 2 are 2 trees, so I mean that's not too bad. Yet again, but 4 to 5 foot deep I think it is, down this end. Or you can cast straight over to the far bank, overhanging trees and lily pads. There is bins provided for the rubbish, which is a really good idea. On to peg 3, lily pads. Oh, nice carp in the margins again, right on the lily pads. I just disturbed it. It's a shame they're in the lily pads. Should be on the end of the hook. Bark chippings again. Little tree to your right, little tree to the left with lily pads. Then on to peg 4, bark chippings again. Reeds there, overhanging trees, or over to the far bank is lily pads. And then obviously you got lily pads all the way around here to this tree, but from peg 4 you can't fish here because it's right by the island where the aerator is, but I presume you might be able to get one over to that corner there if nobody's fishing on there, which I am. Haha. Let me carry on round. This is the double peg, which is peg 5, which is a very short cast to this island, or off to the left, as long as you don't go near the aerator. You can cast to there though, where there's lily pads, overhanging trees, or on the other side you have overhanging trees again, or you're out in open water basically here. But I believe it's 8 to 9 feet deep down here. I don't know what it is underneath your feet, but I would presume when this rains it does get muddy, because it's not got much bark chipping on it by the looks of it. But yeah, looks a really good peg anyway. In the summer I think it would be good. And then back up to your left, excuse me, it's a bit cold. Go through some trees. It looks like people in the time have made a little stalking gap to stalk down in here, which could be quite cool really. Who knows? There might be fish or two. And then on the other side of this tree, there's some sunken tree there. But overhanging trees, stalking tactics, and carry on round. This is the top end of the pool, which I believe is the old part of the pool as well. As you can see, tree lined all the way along, overhanging trees. Overhanging trees in the water, top end, reeds. Oh, I don't know whether you're allowed to fish on here. I presume you can stalk along here. Well, you couldn't put a bivvy up. And we carry on round. This is peg 6. The only good thing about this one is this tree in the water, I think. You could bivvy up there, I suppose, but only when it's busy. You can actually nip through here, which is quite cool if you want to stalk. And drop one down there, but not advisable. It's all overgrown. But you could bait up, obviously, another bin. And then you come on to peg 7, as you can see. Peg 7. This doesn't really have a great deal to offer. A few trees there in the margins. A couple of reeds the other side of a big tree. You do have a marker over here. I don't know whether you can see this or not. Right over there you can see a red marker. That's where you're allowed to fish to. So you'll be fishing from that red marker round to your right, which basically gives you the whole of this bay to fish in. So anywhere from the marker to the left you can't go, because that's poaching somebody else's swim. Well, it's not a bad idea really. The owner's called Tom, really friendly man. You can buy bits and baits, meat, sweet corn, baits called bag ups, whatever they are, I don't know, but this is the other corner bit, which looks really quite catfishy actually, and quite carpy. Casting over to this lot here, you can actually see the red marker better now. There's a big sunken tree in the water there. And then from another point, you can actually walk all the way along here, I was doing this the other night for me nephew, and pre-baiting for him, because it's stealth tactics, because it's quite slippery. But this is the bay. This is the second bay. This is on your double pegs, which is peg 8. Now this is the bay that our Mark's been fishing in for the last 3 days. Now you've got off to your left, it's like a little bay and a little point, and as you go over, carp just rolled over there. You can cast to that island there. I don't know if you can see that red marker in front of that little brick thing, but there's one marker there, and then you come across to another red marker. That's the only place you're allowed to cast over to that way, because of that peg over there. But otherwise you can cast way over to your right there, overhanging trees there, lily pads off to your right, and all the way along, down, all the way along here. This end's about 8 to 9 feet, and then obviously you got another bin, which is really good. On the right hand side of the bivvies you've got all these lily pads here to fish to, if you want to drop it in the margins, which is really deep in the margins, by the way. 4 foot upwards I think it is, as you go out. Or you can lob it over to these little trees here, And you got a big tree. Look at this little walkway. Ooh, blackbird. And it's quite cool because you've got the overhanging tree here, which goes back about 5 feet, I think. I daren't go any closer because I'm falling. And then round to my peg, which I've had the last 3 days on, where I got my catfish. Been there. Peg 9. You got these trees here, which you can whiz it round, which stick out quite well. Right, I'll see if you can see that marker. Right. The marker's just in amongst that tree there. Quite a simple cast really, quite close to lob it out. That's the area, so you can't go anywhere near that because you'll lose your gear or get tangled up. But yeah, it's a brilliant peg. Got reeds there, look. Quite shallow off the bank in here, but then it slopes off. Got all those reeds there. And then pay no attention to the rod with the green on it. That's just my catfish rod. But you've got all these here that you can cast to, off to your right. Carp have been going crazy through these all night. So they have. This is where you can come stalking. Or from over the other side, you can cast to these reeds. And yeah, all these here is where all the carp have been going ballistic all night, jumping, thrashing. You do have